Hey everyone, so in this video we're going to talk about pork. We're going to talk about the cost of pork. How much does it cost to put pork in your freezer? We're going to talk about the cost to purchase the pigs, the cost to feed the pigs, the cost to butcher the pigs. And then we're going to talk about all the little in-betweens. How much should you feed them? How long should you keep them? What should you feed them? What kind of cuts are you expected to get? How much of a percentage of your rail weight should you get? How much of a percentage of live weight to rail weight to freezer weight? And all that good stuff. Alright, so we're going to talk about our receipt here. Now this is just our fees for the butcher fees. Now we have two separate tags because these are two different pigs. Now the first pig was 193 pounds on the rail weight. The second pig was 256. So there was a pretty good difference between the two pigs, and one of them was obviously bigger than the other. Anyways, the kill and disposal fee is a flat rate of $38. The cooler fee is a flat rate of $10. Processing fee is going to vary per pig. Now here you can see they raised the prices to 64 cents from 52 cents last year, so it's kind of went up a good 20% or so, which that's just how it is nowadays. So we got $123.52 on one pig, $163.84 on another pig. That's just the processing fee for cutting down the pig. Now they have a curing fee. So between the two, $18.19 and $26.61. Now that's for bacon only. Now this specific processor doesn't cure hams, so we elected not to get any hams because of that reason. Also, they have a pickup and hauling fee, and here it's it's $35 to pick up one animal, but an extra $5 to pick up the second one. So it's $20 total. Between the two, it's $40. Now, we don't have a trailer. We don't want a trailer, a livestock trailer anyways. I can't justify the cost, especially if we just do this once a year. It's $40 a year, or I can pay what, $4,000 for a livestock trailer. The $40 a year is I'm happy paying that. So between the two, though, you can see it's a $214 and $263. So that was our total butcher fees. Okay, so we got our pigs in July 6th. And we got their processing date was the 10th of March. So it was approximately 8 months. When we got the pigs, they were already about 6 weeks old. So from birth, they were probably about 9.5 to 10 months old, which is a bit longer than traditionally. Traditionally, you want to butcher them around 6 to 7 months. Now, we couldn't do this because our processors, they just don't have appointments like that. So we had to actually, we scheduled this appointment months and months ago. Anyways, so we're going to get into the feed cost and what we fed them. So from day one, when we got them, we stuck with the same kind of feed. We got a commodity blend of, it was just a 3-way commodity with molasses. It came out to about $8.25 a bag. And we went through 41 bags total. Now, when we first started feeding them, in the beginning, we fed them, 5 pounds is what we wanted to stick with. They didn't eat 5 pounds each in the beginning. There was too much food. So they probably ate 2 pounds a day, then 3, then 4, then 5. And we kept them on 5 for a very long time. The last month, we pushed them off to 10 pounds a day. We broke the 2 male pigs off into their own feed lot, essentially. They had a half acre of wooded area to graze in. And we also just fed them whole corn. Now, we like to call that clean feeding. And that's just, we don't feed them any processed foods or anything that's not corn. They just eat corn, and then they can eat grass and stuff like that, or whatever they find in the woods, acorns, whatever. But during those first, 7 months that we had them, we fed them everything. All of our food scraps, all of our leftover eggs, which we had a ton of eggs. We have a ton of chickens, so we feed them a lot of eggs, 50 eggs a day, between four pigs. It's fine. It's not really, it's good for them because they get extra food, and, they're going to gain weight that way, but they can't live off of just 50 eggs. That's like 5,000 calories, and a pig eats I don't know, it's ridiculous the amount. When there's 5 to 10 pounds of food one pig eats, it's some ridiculous number of calories. Anyways, moving on to to the meat. Now we're going to go into detail on like how much these pigs weighed and how much meat we got from that and everything. So first things first, the rail weight on the first pig was 193 pounds, and the rail weight on the second pig was 256. Now they're estimated live weights, so we don't get a live weight because our processor doesn't weigh them live. They just weigh them rail weight. Now rail weight is when a pig is or hanging weight. Some people call it hanging weight, but it's when a pig is hanging on a bar or whatever they put them on a crane or something. They have no feet, no skin, no guts, and no head. So it's just basically the neck down to the legs, and there's nothing else. So that's what they call rail weight or hanging weight. Now live weight is, obviously it's live weight. It's a full pig, all the way ready to go. Now they say the difference is like 72%. So whatever the live weight is, you're going to get 72% rail weight. So rail weight here is 193, and the estimated live weight was 268. The second pig was 256, and the estimated live weight was 356, based on that 72% figure. Now that's a vast difference in pig weight, and one of the pigs was noticeably bigger, but I mean I don't know if it was, what is that, 60-pound difference, 70, 80, I don't know, something like 80-pound difference. Like that's a huge difference. So but I guess they carry it well. All right, so back to this. The total rail weight was 449 pounds, and the total freezer weight that we got was 406. Now that's a high conversion rate, and I'll get to that a little bit later. But generally, you're not going to get that much meat, and I'll show you how we got that much meat a little bit later in the video. So out of the cuts that we got, sausage was obviously our biggest one. We got 191 pounds of sausage, and the way we did that is you look on here, there's no ribs, there's no hams. We turned all the rib meat and all the ham meat into sausage, and that's one of the reasons why we got a higher conversion rate. So the roast, we got 65 pounds of roast, and out of those roasts there were 4 inches each, and it's a pretty big roast. It's enough to last our family a week of food, which we should have got them cut down to 2 inches, but out of those 4-inch roasts we got 12 of them. Pork chops, we got 3/4 inch pork chops, which I think is the perfect size. We got 63 pounds of pork chops and 123 total pork chops, so that's quite a bit of pork chops between the two pigs. Bacon, 52 pounds of bacon. Ham steaks, so we had one of the hams cut down into steaks because we wanted to try that out. We've never had that before. So we got about 16 pounds of ham steaks, and out of those ham steaks we got 6. Ground pork, that wasn't a common thing on their cut sheet. People generally around here just get sausage. So what we did was we wanted to try out ground pork to see how that would go. We got 10 pounds of it just to try it out. Liver, we got about 3.7 pounds, and this is just, we had it cut up for fishing, for bait. My neighbor's kids really like to fish. I'm not much of a fisherman myself, but my neighbor's kids like to fish, so I give it to them. And then the tenderloins, we got 3.1 pounds of tenderloins, and we got all the loin cut into pork chops as well, because we like pork chops a lot, and I'd rather have pork chops than loin. We got plenty of shoulder roast to make, pork adobo or pulled pork. We don't need to waste the loin meat on that. So again, the reason we got so much high conversion rate is because of the sausage. So generally, when you get hams, there's not a lot of fat in the ham. So when they make sausage out of it, they got to pull that fat from the back fat of the pig. Now, generally, they keep that themselves, and I don't know what they do with it. They either sell it off or throw it away or whatever, but they had to give that back to us because we had a lot of sausage. Now, last year when we got our pigs processed, we did ask for some fat back because we wanted to. My wife wanted to boil, to make lard out of it to try to make soap. So there is plenty of fat that they keep. All right, moving on. We're gonna get down to the brass tacks here. The actual cost it cost us to raise these pigs up. All right. So the first cost was the cost of the pigs. Now we bought these from a farmer. He raises pigs, has hundreds of pigs. He sells them for $75 each. Now these pigs were Duroc Hampshire mixes. So between the two, they were $150, $75 each. All right, the feed bill, we already went over that, but it was $387 total for the 2 pigs to feed them out for 8 months. Okay, the butcher bill was $478.16. Now I showed you the receipts. That's where we got that figure from. The total cost for us to get those pigs into our freezer was $1,015.16. So that was for 2 pigs butchered down, roughly 406 pounds of meat in our freezer. It was $1,000. So the rail weight total was $449. The freezer weight total was $406. We went over that. The conversion rate, here's the conversion rate, is 90% roughly. Now last year we did this. We got ribs, we got ham, we got a bunch of other stuff, and our conversion rate was about 75 to 80%. So the price per pound on rail weight was $1.20. Now that's based on just the feed bill and the cost of the pigs. That's not based on the butcher weight. And that'll be important later. The price per pound on freezer weight is $2.50. That's how much it costs for us to buy the pigs, to feed the pigs, to pay the butcher. So $2.50 a pound. And I think that's pretty fair for pasture raised pork or wooded raised pork, and you get to know what they eat, and I'm telling you, it tastes fantastic compared to regular store-bought pork. Up here, we're going to talk about the butcher fees. So the butcher fees based on rail weight is $1.06 a pound, and that's based on $449. And the freezer weight is $1.18 per pound, and that's based on the 406. So approximately $1.20 or so is what you can expect to pay around this area to get your pigs processed. All right, this last part is really more for people that are going to sell pigs, and it's, there's a wide range of prices here, $2.50 a pound to $4 a pound, and I've seen anywhere in between here, so like $3 is probably fair, $4 it might be a little bit high, but in some areas you can charge that and you can get that. I got the low end and more of the high end. Now this can go higher or lower. It really just depends on your location and your vicinity to a major city and lots of things like that. So we'll go off the first one. So with $2.50, your total sales between, this is 2 pigs, keep in mind. I'm doing this based on 2 pigs because I got 2 pigs butchered. Your profit per pound is $1.30. Now that's pretty decent, Between the two pigs, you're going to make $585. So if you raise up, 2 pigs, and like I did, and you just want to sell them, you don't want to keep the meat, you can expect to make $600 roughly. Now that's not really that much money for 8 months of work. It's not much work, but it's enough to where, you got to go down there every day and feed them. That's work. And then you have to move them, and you have to buy the infrastructure, the fencing, all that stuff. Now, if I did do the profit here based on 1 pig, I just did the 2 pigs divided by 2, and we're looking at about $300 a pig, roughly. Now, this is all based off of rail weight. You don't do anything with freezer weight because the only figure you get from the processor is the rail weight, and you saw that on the actual receipt. They don't weigh out the freezer, the cuts, which is kind of unfortunate, but it's actually better. This is how people do it around here with beef and pork, is they do it based on rail weight. All right, now on the high end of this stuff, $4 a pound, which I think I could probably charge that, and some people would pay it. A lot of people wouldn't, just because the cost is going to be too high for them. You're looking at a profit of $2.80 a pound. That's pretty good, and then between the 2 pigs, you're looking at $1,200 or $600 a pig. Now that might make it a little bit more worthwhile if you're doing some quantity here, but for me, just doing a couple pigs, I really don't think it's worth it. I just don't. Like, we're gonna definitely raise pigs for ourselves every year because it's easy, and the meat quality is second to none, really. Like, I've never had a better pork chop in my life. The sausage is fantastic. The bacon is fantastic. I've never, like I said, I've never had anything bad come out of my own pigs. But for me to do this as a business, I don't think I'm gonna do that. It's just not worth it to me. Now, I do have 2 pigs left over, and we were gonna like try to raise them up and breed them, but the more we think about it, we're probably not gonna be doing that. So I have 2 pigs. I'm gonna sell to friends and family at $2.50 a pound. I really don't want to make a lot of money. I don't want to make money off my friends. I'm gonna make some money because I put the work into here. If you do the math here, it's $300 per pig. That's not a lot of money, not for 10 months of work, So I'm going to make $585. We're talking 10 months of work. Now, imagine if that 10 months was I don't know, 5 minutes a day, right? And this is every day. 10 months times 30 days, 300 days times 5 minutes. Divided by 60, it's 25 hours of work. All right, so if I make 585, and I divide that by 25 hours of work, I mean, it's $23 an hour, which isn't terrible, but that's just saying it's 5 minutes a day. In reality, it's more than that. It's probably like 5 minutes a day, and then maybe one day a week it's like an hour, and that's like hauling water, getting feed from the feed store. I mean, I'm already going to the feed store for chickens, so it's not like it's really out of my way. Some people, it might be different. You might be making a special trip for that. You can factor in gas and all that stuff. Either way, to me, it's not worth it. I would have to do something like 20 or 30 pigs a year for me to make it worthwhile for myself, for my family. We sell chickens, and we do well selling chickens. And chickens, you can pick a chicken up with one hand. You cannot pick a pig up with 6 people trying to grab this pig. You couldn't do it. Couldn't be done. So a pig is a much bigger animal. It's more dangerous, and it's definitely you have a lot more invested in a pig. If you have 2 pigs and one dies, you lost a lot of money. If you have, I don't know, 10 chickens and 5 of them die, it's not really that big of a deal. Chickens don't cost that much money. So anyways, I just wanted to show you guys this. I hope it helps you make a decision on getting your own pigs. I definitely think you should do it if you have the land, and you don't even need that much land. Really, you just need like a half acre, maybe an acre. If you can rotate them like 4 times within that 6 to 8 months, that's perfect. Like say a quarter acre each time, quarter acre, and then move them to another quarter acre, then move them to another quarter acre. Let them get that that fresh grass. Put them in woods. I mean, they are fantastic at clearing out woods. You can't find a better animal. People say goats, but no. Goats are lazy. Pigs, they eat everything. Pine cones, pine needles, every kind of, anything that's green will be gone as long as you keep them on there like long enough. But I definitely think it's totally worthwhile. Like for us, it was $2.50 to put bacon in our freezer. You can't beat that price. Pork loin, shoulder roast. Now those are on the cheaper side, but even if you go to the store, a shoulder roast has got to be $3 something a pound, easy. And then bacon's like $10 a pound. Sausage maybe $3 to $4 a pound. So either way you look at it, it's still worthwhile. If you already have a farm and you're already running around doing farm stuff, it really is, like I said, only 5 to 10 minutes a day of extra work. Now moving them, hauling water, it really depends on your situation. Moving them might take a few hours, once a month, once every month and a half, something like that. But I most definitely think it's worth it. Like I said, I hope this helps somebody make a decision. And I hope they make the decision to actually raise a couple pigs. Don't just raise one. Pigs are herd animals, I guess. They don't like to be, you know, by themselves. They'll get kind of lonely and start trying to break out. So they need a buddy. Same thing with a cow, same thing with a goat. You don't want one goat, you don't want one cow, you don't want one pig. You want at least two of each. Remember that. It's important. Alright, well, I hope this video helps you make a decision on getting some backyard pigs for yourself to raise for your family. Put meat in your freezer, especially the way the economy is going right now. Meat prices are on the rise, and this is a good way to store some meat for your family. Alright, well, if you guys like watching these kind of videos, you know, hit that like button. I really appreciate it. It helps out our videos a lot. And consider subscribing. You know, if you learn something here, you might learn something from another video. Alright, thanks for watching. Bacon, roast, pork chops, loin, ground pork, liver, and tenderloin sausage.